Beloved friends, we have waited patiently for more than 30 of your years for the time when we can bring the Stargate and those who are deeply connected to it. This place of many mysteries, this place which is actually a holder of Atlantean knowledge and wisdom. The beauty, the mystery of the divine feminine, which is yet to be released. Information, different activations, supported by star families who have shared their wisdom with the Egyptians through the mystery schools there. Join us in this energetic and you will be touched. You will evolve. You will start to understand the mystery not just of Egypt, but the mystery of humanity. Why you are here, what is occurring, and what is about to happen.
Okay, so hello and welcome. We are here with our dear friend Viviane Chauvet. I'm Jules.
I'm Prageet, and of course this is Viviane.
This is Viviane indeed.
And so we are here tonight to explore the theme of initiations in ancient Egypt, the initiations that are a little different, that are available now, and the star families, the star beings, and the Stargate. So welcome to this one. It's going to be amazing. We're glad that you're here.
And we, as you can see, we're sat very close to the pyramid, and the energy of the pyramid is really tangible. When we first arrived, we were actually blown away. I wasn't expecting to feel it so strongly at a distance like this. So see if you can tune into that as well. That might be a possibility because we're feeling it here. So initiations, as you know, people came from around the world in ancient times to actually be initiated here in this great temple, the pyramid behind us, where there are many levels and layers of rooms, each with separate energies, which were aligned together to assist the initiate as they lay in the sarcophagus in the king's chamber. There's a lot that's unknown about those times, but we are going to be traveling throughout these amazing sites, starting off inside the king's chamber and also ending the tour with a second visit into the king's chamber. And we are really, really blessed to have Viviane and her perspective. So would you like to say a little bit for the new people that don't know you, who you are and why we're so touched to have you with us?
Of course, always a pleasure to be with my friends, Jules and Prageet. Always a joy to go everywhere we need to go around the world, and of course with the Stargate family. It's a privilege to be with all of you. I am an Arcturian being in a hybrid human form. So the hybrid part of me is my body. I was engineered in this physical form by the Arcturian, who are an advanced, enlightened, and ascended interstellar civilizations. We come from the Bootes constellation, which is roughly about 36,000 light years from this quadrant. We have been involved with the Earth and the solar systems for well over 3 million of years. And as we sit here, as you mentioned as well, Prageet, the presence of the Giza pyramid, the big one behind us, will really trigger a lot of overlays of memories, which in a sense becomes an initiation. We talk about initiations on a quantum level. That word has evolved tremendously. But even back then, with the high priest and the high priestess, one thing about the initiate, so they receive the different level of frequencies into their light body and opening up the third eye, they were really getting ready to move into different state of conscious realization, coming into higher being. And it's one theme that is also related to rebirth, initiation, and rebirth, renewal, ascension. You can tell that it was already part of the customs even back then.
So we don't know what we're going to experience. It's like all that we know is that, as I said yesterday, it's been more than 30 years that we've been waiting to come here. And every time I asked Alex, I said, wait, but now is the time. And it's part of a major shift that's wanting to happen here on the planet, shifting consciousness. And as most of you know, we're in a very challenging situation in a way around the world with so many different things. And our intention is to support each one of us in this elevated experience, raising our consciousness, and in doing so, starting to influence in a more beautiful way what is occurring here on the planet.
So I want to say a few words about the flow of this free live stream. So we're going to start with a kind of a deep dive into the Arcturian perspective. Then after we've kind of set the stage about what exactly is possible for us, like what does initiation mean, maybe we can even talk a little bit about the role of the star beings as you see it in ancient Egypt and also now. And then we're going to dive into an actual meditation experience. And if you haven't experienced the Stargate before, it's this sacred geometric structure behind us, and its role is to create a super tangible, high vibrational energy field that no matter where you are in the world, if you meditate with us, just by relaxing into these energy fields, your own vibration starts to raise and you become sensitive to the point of being able to actually feel subtle energy, multidimensional experiences, the guides, the beings. So stick with us because we're going to co-create a meditation with our friend, the embodied Arcturian, as I like to call you.
I like that.
Yeah. So on the first free live stream we did a couple of days ago, we had a talk from Neil about the connection between Atlantis and here, the pyramids, the information and so on. But as I understand it, the Atlantean information came from way beyond. Can you give us some insight where the knowledge and wisdom from Atlantis actually, how did that arrive on the planet?
Well, I'll share some of the memory I have, because I was in Atlantis, but in my Arcturian form. So yes, my people, the Arcturians, we have some involvement with Atlantis, as well as we also helped on the 5th stage, right at the peak of the Golden Age, when the last cycle of the Atlantean timeline was going to collapse. We saw right away a conjunction in the timeline to bring an aspect of the souls back into ancient Egypt and even other aspects around the world on the map to establishing other colony. And as we speak, my group is giving me feedback. Like imagine as an Arcturian coordinating, it's like yes, like sign, like you know, pilots when they look on the tarmac, like okay, the lights and all, you can land. So we came along with the Atlantean, we were there in our Arcturian form. So I was very engaged with Atlantis, but not as an Atlantean or an embodiment of Atlantean, but as an Arcturian. With the Mer people who were there, the Syrians were also there. There was an aspect of the Pleiades who were there. Of course, we were the secret archives of the Lyrians, and we're also working with them and so forth. So if you look at Atlantis, of course it has an overlapping into the initiation of Egypt to bring in the flame of initiation, what we call the flame of ascension, the sacred altar of the virtues of ascension that was brought in alongside with ascended masters, and on these virtues and the sacred flame and the sacred throne of the flame was simply removed out of the 3D terrestrial realm and brought into the etheric aspect, where it is still there right now, and it is a temple for initiation. Initiation in terms of higher mental discipline, in terms of returning into that luminous template, so we can allow ourselves to shift even on the physical level, so we can start to unwind the energy that gives us hooked onto the third dimensional polarized realities. All of it is a projection. In each projection creates overlays of energetics that we abide by and we agree. For example, the time of the live stream coming together, it's a conjunction of time that we agree upon so we can meet. But in reality, we co-create that. It's an illusion, it doesn't exist. We create that here based on a commonality in all of our realities together. So if you look at the word initiation, the way it has evolved, even on a quantum level, the early stages of Egypt was to bring in the level of initiation from the Atlantean knowledge, the star people, the wisdom of the crystal that was also utilized in the Egyptian rods, the way the temples were built, everything was built in accordance to the energetic grids and also the constellation, all the alignment here. The problem is that over time there's been some level of distortion. So think about it, that what happened in Atlantis was recreated in Egypt as well in terms of distortion. Overlays of distortion over time that create a misalignment. I can feel that from the pyramid today. And it's getting very clear to why we are here at this time, like Alcazar said.
Yeah.
Wow. That's epic, because I mean, this is one of the great mysteries of these ancient civilizations like Egypt, is that the most ancient part of that civilization actually had the most advanced mathematics, agriculture, building methods, and it actually devolved over time.
That's also to show how much an entire planet has sunk into descending into matter, forgetfulness, distortion. Look at the secret archetypes of Prime Creator through the expression of divine feminine and divine masculine energies. The distortion is so palpable here. And I say that with respect, but it really is palpable. That's because it is a descendant, distortion, fragmented and polarized expression of something pure. So the same thing with the sacred crystals. Talk about it to a Syrian being, he'll tell you a lot about it. Why? Because if you look at the history of Syrians, they too, beyond this earth plane, beyond Egypt, beyond Atlantis, beyond these timelines, in other planets, they have shared very advanced level of technology, profound intellectual knowledge that was a requirement, the wisdom to implement this knowledge. Otherwise, what it does, it creates miscreation, distortion, and it's strong enough to create diversion even in the timelines. And as a result, it can lead to destructions of planets, civilizations, de-evolution. This is why the Arcturian, we speak of re-ascension. We are returning. It's a grand return.
Yeah.
We collectively together, this group, it would have been impossible to come here even 10 years ago. Now we are at a time, and I may share with all of us one of the profound message I received already is that our role will be to, from the inside of the pyramid, to reactivate in order to bring in the new energetic grids to like a juxtaposition. Imagine a juxtaposition of the actual grids as we've known them, right in the polarization of third-dimensional matrix reality. We're going to bring in already the other layers we call a more fifth-dimensional base energetic grids. And that is part of the reascension, the grand return, the harmonization, the unification of the sacred archetypes. That's what we're going to be bringing in. I look right now, the Giza, yes, the energy is powerful. And Pragit, you're absolutely correct. It's going to activate your heart center and your center of memories. However, it is beyond to be full power. This is not the original power.
Yeah,
this is what we're here to do.
Yeah.
With the attitude of spiritually advanced intergalactic star groups.
This is something that Alcazar's been talking about for quite a while, even before we met you, that this is a really critical time, and the devolution, the chaos that we live in the world. We've been used to it for so long, for so many lifetimes, we don't realize how far away it is from the potential that we hold here. This is an amazing planet. We could be living in harmony and love. We could be in an incredible experience of abundance on all levels, as Alcazar calls it. It's time to bring that back. The way to bring that back is the shift in consciousness. And the shift that you're talking about, the potential that can happen over these next days, the changing of the vibration of that pyramid can start to vibrate a whole new level of support to humanity.
It's imperative, actually. We are very much at a conjunction. We use the word imperative with authority, love, and sacred presence, because just what we're going to be doing with the Sphinx, with the sacred archives. So the first night I arrived to Cairo, I had a dream, and I was shown an interstellar map. And within that interstellar map, there was two components. Number one, if you look at the map face in front of you, to the right corner up, there's a constellation. And then if you look again to the map, facing the map, on the left side down, there was a quadrant. And there was something about the return, the shift of this quadrant, that was referring to the solar system. Now, the other constellation was the Pleiades, actually, the Seven Sisters. Why the Pleiades? That's because another aspect of what we're doing is that with the Arcturians, we're going, the Pleiadians and the Arcturians, thank you for correcting me. I got a correction here. So both the Pleiadians and the Arcturians, what we're going to do is create an energetic reconnective points between the Mount of Uluru in Australia and the grids here in Egypt. So what we're going to be doing as a group is everywhere we go, every temple, every island, everywhere we set foot, think of it this way, that we're there to turn on the light bulb. We are bringing back the full potency of what each site were designed for. So just the pyramid behind us right now, imagine right now the light body of the pyramid oscillating into a high frequencies of energies starting to resonate and vibrate throughout entire Cairo. And from there, it's going to go deep into the grids to reunify Africa, which is important here, north returning to Africa, completely unified, and from Africa beaming out rays of light everywhere globally. I mean, this is on a magnitude. Well, that's part of the grand return. And that's just why there's so many enlightened star groups, including, and of course, another group who are really, really excited about it are the Syrians, because it's time to bring out of misalignment to the sacred knowledge and starting to understand the symbology that was left behind rather than to take everything literally. That's a big disengagement from the mental construct to analyze sacred site. Not everything is to take to the letter. There are symbology. Think of them as energy patterns of consciousness. Literally.
Beautiful. Wow. In fact, I seem to remember Cryon talking quite a while ago about the importance of Africa, and that would actually be the first continent to actually start this process of evolving into a new way of being.
Right on, absolutely. And why are the great channels, the masters, the enlightened intergalactic civilization seems to point all in one direction? What do you think is that? Because we all having the same perception towards exactly the core of what is really happening on the planet, and how we, all of us, can play an essential role.
And that's why we brought this group. There's going to be 100 people that are traveling on this tour. But we really invite your energy, because for all of you that work with the Stargate for a while, and perhaps others as well, are very aware that when we connect with our intention, with our consciousness, wherever you are on the planet, you're bringing your energy of support. And so it's not just the 100 or so people here, but there's the thousands who will be energetically bringing their presence with us as you tune in to the live stream. Because in the quantum field, there is no time, there is no physical distance. And many, many, many people, thousands of you around the world, have experienced, for example, the Stargate meditations. And Jules and I are guiding a meditation, and yet people all over the world are feeling the energy at the same moment, the quantum reality. And so part of the shift that needs to happen here on the planet is to begin to be aware of the greater reality, to step out of the third dimensional thinking that's got us into such a big mess here over so many generations. It's time. Slowly, slowly, more and more people are beginning to wake up, just beginning to wake up. And what we are doing, and other groups around the world are doing, starting to bring this process more into an alignment with the higher guidance that's already there. And that's why it's such a gift to have you with us, Viviane, because you can bring through information that basically we haven't received yet. So
it's quite a funny thing, but it's like, you know why we're here. I'm certain. Yeah.
I do, and thank you so much. And of course, I want to hear your perspective as well, what you're getting, because it's the power of a group. And I would love, if you allow me, just for a moment, a tangible example of this. I know that in this town, because there's so many overlays of history and other traces of civilization coexisting in one place. So one of the things is that we need to start to release these overlays to bring back the purity and the centeredness of what this place was designed for. Now, there's hundreds of us that are going to be traveling. When we go to the Giza pyramids, the plateau, the Sphinx, imagine bring back kindness, compassion, and love right in the people's heart and the animal kingdom. For example, can you imagine if all of us bring one extra bottle of water and we share with the dogs there? Give water, give life, give love, bring back the compassion in action. And that will be also very tangible in addition to what we are to do, plus with all the star people going to be there with us, the masters, the etheric retreat of tangibly. Can you imagine sharing water, source of life, with other life form as we are there? That's compassion in action. We are showing the population here, it is time to return to the essential of living, return to your heart, return to care for one another, whether you are a child, a man, a woman, a dog, a cat. Let's return together. That's something that we can feel. There's a great reawakening of the heart center. Can we imagine if we do that every site? The elevation?
It's interesting because what you're saying is it's a return to a oneness perspective of abundance on all levels, which is where we're being asked to go. But what's interesting is, as you say this, that perspective shift somehow lets us take care of ourselves better too.
Indeed.
Because we start to think about how to care for each other. It's beautiful.
Thank you. It really is. And I would say that epiphany came to me today. And I was talking also with Alan Steinfeld, and Alan made quite a few very compelling points when we went briefly just to see the pyramid with Dr. Desiree Hurtak. And I start to look around and I'm like, okay, now I understand. Like the seed of compassion just came so strongly. And this is also part of what we've come to do. That great awakening is right in a tangible field as much as we're bringing it to the higher field. So we're creating that torus field of energy, a loop into each other and create an infinity loop. We're coming back into that space. And I can feel it, and I feel my heart. Can you feel that too? In your heart and your soul? And we can all do it, even though physically you may not be with us, giving water, let's say to a dog or to someone who needs it. He can hold the space with all of us. Isn't that incredible?
It is, and it's totally in alignment with what Alcazar's been talking about over the last months.
Yes.
Compassion, community, taking care of each other.
Thank you.
And I'm really, really honored to be part of this whole Stargate family, because they have been supporting, as we're going to Greece in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes.
And the Stargate family contributed financially for more than 200 people to come from around the world who couldn't otherwise afford to be there. So thank you all for the incredible gift. And this is just the beginning. And compassion and community and loving self are really three most important things right now. Because when you start to do that, naturally your consciousness starts to rise and you can start to attune to these higher energies that are available and are going to be more readily available.
It really is.
Yeah.
So for us, on the Arcturian perspective, beyond decoding hieroglyph and the gods and all of it, we invite you more to understand what this initiation for all of us really means. It's a great time of initiation for humanity to unite themselves back with other kingdoms, like the animal kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the tree nations, the spirit of nature, the elementals. Did you know that even interstellar group speaks of honoring the elementals that coexist on the planet? Without them, life wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
I've gotten a vision, like a flash, twice, really strongly since I've been here in Cairo. And the vision is because as you go in Cairo, there's many different neighborhoods, and some of them have a lot of rubble and chaos, and it's quite intense, and the cars everywhere. And the flash that I keep getting is like everything is pristinely clean. And there's free energy, and everybody has there's an abundance, like a super abundance vibration. And I'm wondering if you have anything to say about that, because
I love that.
Yeah.
Because that reminds me of what we have done also even in Costa Rica. It's looking at what on the 3D, the descending, the disconnect even from the heart center can create with the rumbles and, you know, the conditions and then garbage everywhere. But at the same time, when you start to look and tune in into the complete pristine crystalline energy, abundance for all, pure energy, you're starting to implement another reality on top. That's what we talk about, the juxtaposition of the energy grids where we're moving into. So by doing that, we're already implementing a new level of era, we're infusing a new paradigm directly with that pristine energy. This is what we call a reveal the fifth dimensional way of living. Reveal yourself now. It's almost like we are piercing through these curtains or these layers of illusion energies built up out of belief system, programming, generational, culturals, and even religion. We're moving through all of these overlays or curtains of illusions. We're bringing back a vibration that is far more powerful to already elevate a new realities. So that remind me of something today, Julian, thank you for mentioning that. I was outside waiting for my group to enter the plateau, and this woman was sitting there with her children, a local woman, looking at me with such anger in her eyes, looking at me down. And I'm very humble. I always dress long skirts, sleeves here. I'm always covered. I've never been someone who's been exposing myself. I'm Arcturian, of course, I don't do that. But I'm very humble, even in my presence. And I realized the decoding of that energy is two aspects of the divine archetype or the divine principle standing in each other. What she was looking at me for was the other possibility, the potential of more of a free, restored, divine feminine expression versus a third dimensional, repressed and distorted aspect of the divine feminine. And I can tell that the anger, which had nothing to do with me, and I knew that, was more of what I represent, the potential that may seem for her at the time, or for the time being, unreachable.
Impossible, yeah.
Yes, and yet
people believe that.
There,
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm looking at you, meaning me, representing the divine archetype of the feminine in my expression, and looking at her. It's almost like at that moment, both of us, even though we seemingly were in the same physical field, we were completely interdimensional realities coexisting with each other in parallel. And I became aware of it. And that happened in 5 minutes. But I became aware of what was happening just during that 5 minutes of time frame. So what does it mean? It means that we start to realize how it means to coexist in parallel to the third dimensional reality, like you mentioned, Jules, and still vibrating and implementing a higher dimensional of realities all in the same time frame.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like our intention and what's happening through many, many different sources is that we're bringing in this higher vibration, we're holding it, maintaining it, growing it, and that vibration acts almost like a magnet to start to draw up these lower dimensional energies which are restricting people. And it's a challenge because as we've traveled around the world and experienced the many different lifestyles, from the extreme poverty to the excess of wealth, it's really about bringing balance. And it's not something that we're going to go out and wave banners on a protest. It's about consciously creating this field, and that's what we're inviting you to help us with. You don't have to know how, you just have to bring your intention, your presence, and that will increase the power. because whenever more people come together, it's magnified. And we are so blessed to have so many from around the universe here to support humanity at this desperate time, in a way. And I feel like it's been going down and down for so long, and we're leveling out, and we're actually going to start climbing into consciousness again.
Yeah, I just got a really strong image. Is this idea of these dimensional levels of consciousness. If like the unconsciousness is sort of like a veil or like a darkness, like a locked in kind of, what we're doing with these higher frequencies that we're bringing in is like punching holes in that veil of unconscious darkness, and that lets little bits of light in, and it's almost like creating the stars in the night sky, where people can start to have this sense of wonder. This like, that like lifts them up.
That is so true. So imagine doing it when we are going to be inside the king chamber, right from inside of the pyramid, to come together. It says, let's harmonize, let's unify our heart, our energies, to bring back and tell it is time for the pyramid to awaken and already start to beam those rays. And so the pyramid can return being what it's meant to be, oscillators of pure energies. And so by doing that, we can start to accelerate the frequencies that transmit into the collective consciousness, the grids everywhere, whether you're in Cairo, Luxor, whether you are in Libya, whether you are in Australia, everywhere, everywhere. So imagine for a moment, from inside of the pyramid, we come together as pure beings of light that we are. And we start to help the pyramid to radiate those frequencies, the original design that it was meant to be, and bring the planet, through the planet, everywhere, and within our own blueprint and design, our soul design together, and start to shift, like you talked about, to let the light, it takes one powerful ray of light to start to shift like an alchemical process that is transforming everything on this path. And that is also affecting positively our thought forms, the mental energy, our emotional field that is perceived as pure luminous egg-shaped field by the intergalactics. And we're starting to also more investing consciously to the quality of our own energy field. So we're becoming more energy ourselves. So everything has a co-effect or a ripple effect. Like we're throwing a big pebble of light, and my palm has become muddy, and we're shifting right at the molecular structure. We become alchemists at a level, and we're shifting everything around them.
Molecular structure is the place where the physical meets the field.
Absolutely.
It's at the atomic level.
Oh, absolutely.
And water is actually one of the great transducers of the quantum field into this material reality.
Yes, and since we're going to be we started to do it last year on the Indian Ocean, we're going to be calling upon very specialized intergalactic groups does that kind of work, and working on the oceanic grids as well, just like you mentioned.
Brilliant. And then we go to Kos in Greece, and we're surrounded by the ocean.
By the ocean, precisely.
Yeah, wow. So if this is new to you, it may sound very grandiose, but the reality is it's incredibly simple. And it's about our intention, our compassion for ourselves and others, and just being available to the assistance that's already here, waiting for us to say yes, bring us more. And that's why it's a gift to have Viviane with us, who can bring that galactic perspective, where basically they're saying, they're here, they're ready, and they're helping us in this process. So they'll be helping us realign those energies in the Great Pyramid, and we invite you to be part of that process if this little chat touches you. If not, that's okay, but I expect it will touch you at some time in your future.
Oh, I got a feeling that it's going to expand beyond seeds at this point. I feel like what we have brought together has been extremely, and still is, extremely elevating. And I know this speaks directly to the heart. And remember, this is beyond the logic mind, so it's unwinding the grip of the logic mind. It's like approaching spirituality or ancient sites or even intergalactic communication from a mind perspective. This is way beyond this. Think about it. We're speaking with you to the heart at a soul level as an ancient being yourself. And plus the multitude of star seeds on the planet, all the representatives from various intergalactic groups who have returned in physical form. That's also the group we're speaking with, and I know that activation is right there. So that's a little sparkle of star seed energy right there.
Beautiful. So, shall we move into a meditation together?
Yeah.
I could actually sit and chat like this for quite a while.
I know. When we come together, magic, we create magic.
Yeah.
And the door just opened up and the flow. Do you see how flowing it's been?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Very inspirational too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned us reconnecting with our star seed, with who we truly are. Do you have anything else you can say about the potential of that happening as we move through these sacred sites?
Yes, that's a really good point as well. So one invitation will be to release ourselves from the needs of wanting to decode every single statue or representation. We're going to start to better understand from on a intergalactic perspective that yes, there's been many groups who have come throughout history, Egypt being only one part of the timelines. You have to think about your Earth is covered with the signature and the presence of a multitude of intergalactic groups. But I would say for the purpose of our group, I would say there's many groups essentially will be there. The Althor will be there as interdimensional civilizations. We, the Arcturians, we've been there. We've been helping the souls readapting. We've been also helping also to preserve the crystalline knowledge of the archives. We have also the Syrians, the Pleiadians going to be there. The Lyran's going to be there as well. Really more present, working directly with the Lyran Council and their sacred libraries, which contain the original DNA template for humanity, by the way, no parentheses. And we also have many representations from Orion, who's going to be also very much present with us. So the invitation is to feel, allow yourself to open the gateway to your soul star chakra, going into third eye, initiation, higher heart, thymus chakra, also connecting with the heart chakra, and the solar plexus right in the middle point, the middle layer of the solar plexus, into the activation of your core light, your crystalline core. So these points are going to be extremely active. Yes, I know. I must mention also the earth star chakra below your root, so we can ground ourselves. We are relearning to ground ourselves into higher form through the earth star chakra, and that's what's going to be working also with the energetic grids in a nutshell.
Wow.
Thank you.
It just came like, sometimes when it comes, it's like water, it's fluid.
It's fascinating because just sitting with Viviane, every now and again I become really aware of this gathering around us. And in past times, Viviane's Arcturian father has been there, and I just feel, I'm feeling it now.
Oh, yes, Father is good.
It's like his energy is so, it gives me, it tingles inside, and I really honor
Good.
his presence.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Like we honor your presence as well, both of you, of course,
Mm.
and Alcazar, naturally,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay. So we're going to invite you to join us in the meditation now.
So
Go ahead.
with these meditations, if you can give your full focus and just not do anything else, you can even lay down if you want to, but just have the intention to stay with us. And what can happen is effortlessly, you lose your sense of time. So it could be 30 minutes and feel like 5 minutes. You enter into a higher state of consciousness and you transcend the mind, and all of this happens without you doing anything, because the energy field around you will very gently start to grow.
And that's the beauty about the Stargate energy, is there's nothing to do. In fact, trying to do it, trying to feel the energy, trying to direct the energy, trying gets in the way. That's coming from the mind. And this whole transformation that humanity is going through is about opening the heart and allowing this higher heart energy, this greater self, to start guiding you, rather than following the mind as we've been taught for so many generations. So, we invite you just to close your eyes, and we suggest you keep your eyes closed throughout this whole meditation. In fact, we're going to turn the camera off, and you can just hear our voices, and we're doing this to encourage you to close your eyes, to stop doing other things if you can, and really just be here and meditate with us. If you do have other things, then come back to the recording and really be here for the meditation. So we're going to be using the Stargate structure because it's an anchor for a higher dimensional consciousness. And it can work with each one of us individually. It can support us in opening up to the more subtle energies. And when we start to meditate with the Stargate, we always start by inviting the energy of the earth. So as we go through this meditation, we're going to ask you just to ask for various things. Because when you ask, the guides respond to you. You're asking on a personal level for the support, for the guidance, for the energies. So, be comfortable, relaxed, close the eyes, and then just asking inside. There's no need to speak it out loud. Just asking inside for the energy of the earth, the energy of Gaia, the energy of Terra, to come up into your body, into your energy field, grounding you, connecting to this beautiful earth. The consciousness of the earth can and will respond to you.
And so just asking inside, we call for the energy of the earth, inviting the earth's energy into our bodies, into our energy fields.
Very good. And now we're going to ask you to ask inside for the consciousness of the Stargate, that we call the etheric Stargate, to come to each one of you. And so we're going to ask you just to ask inside for an etheric Stargate. And just trust that this consciousness will respond to your asking. For beloved ones, you are moving into a realm which seems unknown, which is about to remind you of that which you have known and take you far beyond into the next level of human experiencing. And so each one of you now, just asking inside for the consciousness of the Stargate, the etheric Stargate, to come down around you.
And so we call for the consciousness of an etheric Stargate, the energy of the Stargate, to come and surround us. So just visualizing this pyramid structure, and you are seated or laying down within it. And the visualizing helps to anchor the higher consciousness that is the Stargate. Feeling it, sensing it, allowing it. Very good. And now we ask each one of you around the world to ask inside for the activation of your etheric Stargate. And so we are calling for the activation of all the Stargates around the world. And as you simply relax, a gentle energetic field is beginning to form around you.
So we're going to ask for this etheric Stargate, this consciousness, to gently start to vibrate a little faster, and moving up through the frequency ranges of the different dimensions. And so as we do this, just allow for the possibility that the energy around you is going to vibrate a little faster, a little higher, and is gently moving up through different frequencies and moving up into the frequency range of the 7th dimension, where we're going to gently pause for a few moments.
So your Stargate is now vibrating at a 7th dimensional frequency, and we ask each one of you to simply ask inside for a strong 7th dimensional energy field in your etheric Stargate.
So we're calling for strong 7th dimensional energy field around you, and as you relax, these energies gently vibrate you at a cellular level. Nothing to do. And these gentle vibrations start to trigger, support your own energy, gently elevating until you start to vibrate in harmony with these higher energies around you. It's not something you do just by relaxing and allowing. It happens all by itself. It's this easy just to relax. And now we're going to continue to vibrate your etheric Stargate faster and faster. And again, we're just going to gently move up through the frequencies of these higher dimensions. And we're going to move gently up into that which you might call the frequency ranges of the 12th dimension. And so as that occurs, as we bring up all the Stargates into this 12th dimensional vibration, again we're going to ask each one of you, just ask for your etheric Stargate to radiate these 12th dimensional energies around you and actually through you, for these energies touch you at a cellular level.
And so, asking inside, we are calling for a strong energy field of the 12th dimension in our etheric Stargates, radiating all around us and through us.
Just relaxing into these soft energies, nothing to do. Your energy gently adjusting all by itself. And as we've said many times, as you start to vibrate at this higher level, you become more sensitive to the various guides and benevolent beings who are available to assist us in this awakening process, this transformation that each and every one of us needs to move through. And as we are gifted with Viviane's presence here, we're going to ask her to invite some of these beautiful beings to bring their energies into this global meditation.
Into the etheric Stargate, we bring also our beloved energies of the Arcturian blue light directly from our realm of Arcturus. We invite you to see and feel the transmission of the Arcturian blue light through the etheric Stargate. Imagine combined together the amplification of the positive frequencies returning to your light body, uplifting also your body template, to feel the transmission into your heart center and into the heart of Mother Gaia. It is through the healing and the reconciliating of the heart center of every living sentient life forms and being on the planet, including the Earth, Mother Terra herself, and the reascension process becomes much more of a reality to all of you. Imagine and feel through the Stargate and the Arcturian blue light energy this potent transmission of pure light waves come and bring stabilization into your own auric field and the field of Gaia herself. It is truly the beginning of the reactivation of the true purposes of all the sacred sites, temples, and pyramids right here in Egypt. Can you feel or imagine your own vibrations start to oscillate and transmit from your heart center? The high frequency of the light spectrum of the blue light coming through the Stargate in the presence of the Arcturians. It is a grand reunion with your star families, humanity, and the other kingdoms coexisting on the planet, including onto the oceanic grids. We come together as a celebration of life. It is time to set aside illusionary differences based on identity, programming, limitation, and the dualistic reality that you've experienced on a physical form. Imagine a transcendence of this polarized third-dimensional matrix reality that you all took for granted, and start to ignite a divine spark of light right into the chalice of your higher heart. It is the doorway of your re-ascension. It is the doorway of the process of stepping higher into consciousness, which reflect in the quality of your interactions with yourselves, with each other, with other life forms, whether both terrestrial and non-terrestrial, including sacred sites and the symbology left behind by your star families. So we invite you to take several deep, conscious breaths and to receive this major gift of initiation that is perfectly aligned with your own blueprint in your soul design, in the presence, of course, of your higher self, and of course the great masters of light, especially Master Sananda and Master Sanat Kumara, yes, and of course Master Serapis Bey. We honor their presence as the magnification of the blue light continues through the Stargate into every region of the planet and into your solar system. Let us breathe together to form a universal rhythm, so we all reharmonize ourselves in the sacred pulse of life, the life that breathes through the planet into the entire nervous systems of Mother Gaia, which reflect into your own nervous systems, your gateways of light. Imagine tonight to this wonderful transmission and meditation. Think of it as your own personal first level of initiation. You are welcome to set yourself a clear intention of what is it you are ready to enhance, embrace, and embody more on your sacred journey. The etheric Stargate and the transmission alongside of the Arcturian presence will continue to be with all of us throughout our entire journey. It is time to bring everything back to its pristine, original design, and to bring back the quality of the vibratory state of the pyramids and all the sacred sites, including the Sphinx and all the temples. So let us breathe in harmony with each other and start to release and clear yourself of identity, pseudo-identification, and overlays of history that has contributed to the distortion field. Imagine and feel the etheric Stargate and the transmission of the Arcturian healing blue light, clearing at a very foundational level all of those overlays, like peeling off layers that allow you to start to see with more clarity into the discernment and the empowerment of your heart and your solar plexus. So let us breathe together as we are integrating, knowing it is only the beginning. And remember that ultimately this is an aspect of what you have come to do and achieve in this incarnation, whether it is on individual level, collective, for an entire civilization, and a multitude of sentient life forms evolving on a planet called Gaia, or known as Cairo. It is through your higher heart, your finest chakra, that is the sacred gateway of the re-ascension process. It is time to re-elevate ourselves back to your true nature, which is divine essence of life, having a multitude of experiences.
And so, beloved ones, as you just bathe in these soft, gentle energies, just have the intention to allow these energetics to continue to work with you. As we gently bring this meditation to a close, stay connected, stay supported, just with your intention, just with the allowing. And then, when you are ready, just very slowly and gently, without rushing, bringing yourself fully back into the body and allowing the eyes to come open when it's time for you. And just feeling your own energetic right now. Perhaps you can feel subtle vibration in your energy field. You've already been touched by these beautiful beings who have joined us and are still with us, and who will be guiding us throughout this tour. So indeed, we thank you for being with us, and we really invite you, if these words and this experience and the love that's been shared, if it touches you, join us through these live streams. Bring your energy to be with us and to receive the different levels of initiations that will be happening over these next days.
Wow.
Indeed. It was incredible.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah. When I came back after was when I realized how profoundly in higher consciousness the shift within me as that meditation happened. Thank you.
So we'll be bringing this transmission to a close in a moment. And if people would like to join us, how do they do that, Jules?
The best way is look in the YouTube description or in the comments on Facebook, and you can see the links will be posted. You can sign up for the full live stream experience and get access to many, many activations, parts of the tour that we'll be able to record, and much more along the way. So journey with us.
Part of it will be live streamed like this when we have a good internet, and parts will be recorded and shared with you as soon as we can upload it.
Yeah.
It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning.
This is the beginning, and we're getting tastes of the profound inner shifts that we can have as we're played out with some lovely local music here tonight.
See, perfect timing. Isn't that perfect?
I don't know if you can hear it, but no, it's a
Yes.
local music band is started.
Playing on the site. So
Yeah, and we have the moon has just come out.
Oh yeah.
it
I
is
don't know
very
if they can see that.
They can't see it, but it's
It's
beautiful.
there.
like a golden croissant.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you.
Much
beautiful
love.
people, much love. Hope to see you again very soon.